what's up guys, how you doing? So a few weeks ago I was cleaning the bike and I noticed that the downpipes were a little bit knackered looking, and one thing that I do, which I shouldn't do when I clean my bike, is I don't really concentrate on the downpipes because they're quite hard to get to. So I just kind of go over it with a kind of damp, soapy, hot, wet sponge and just get all the kind of residual muck off it. But as you know, if you own a motorbike, the exhaust downpipes are the first things that get hit by the salt and the rain and the dirt and the muck. So they're at the front line of all that grime. So, and over here, as I'm sure in most other countries, in the winter time, they put salt down on the roads. Oh shit! My money's falling out. Yeah, so they put salt down on the roads, and yeah, so that just attacks the metal on the pipes. So really, there's a guy I work with actually, when he rides to work every day throughout the winter, regardless of what the weather's like, and he has to rinse down his downpipes after every ride, because if he doesn't, the salt will set in and it will just fur up and eat away at the pipes. So I was looking on YouTube to find out the best way, or the most common way, to clean downpipes. And the first one I come across, which is really popular and quite effective, and if you don't believe me, you should check out, just go to YouTube and put in exhaust bleach, and there's loads of videos on there to look at. So yes, you heard me right, bleach. Any old kind of household bleach will do, apparently. This cost £1.99 from any shop, just a corner shop, Sainsbury's, Tesco's, whatever. Everywhere does bleach. It's widely available and it's very cheap. That's the cheapest option. Option number one. Option number two, the most commonly used purpose-made metal cleaner, and also really common and does a very good job of cleaning downpipes, is Autosol. And I'm sure you've heard of this stuff before. It's very common. It's been used all over the world for years. It's like an abrasive paste that you put onto a cloth and then you rub it in and then you buff it off. That's the second option, the second most expensive as well. And the last one is this stuff called Optiglanz. Now, this is a purpose-made, dedicated exhaust downpipe cleaner. That's the only thing it's designed to do. That's all it does, okay? £25 a bottle, and it's not even a big bottle. So, depending on how much you dedicate your time to cleaning your downpipes, this would be quite a costly investment. But if it does a really good job, then it's worthwhile in my eyes. So now the difference between these three products is the bleach. They recommend to just dab it on with a brush, just kind of work it in with the brush a little bit, not too much, doesn't require a lot of elbow grease, and then just rinse it off with cold water, and that's it, job done. And if you want to go over it again just to make sure, but usually and according to the vids that I've seen, one coat is enough. Dab it in, rinse it off, job done. Very cheap, very little time invested in getting the job done. The second one, the metal polish, this requires, out of all of these three, the most elbow grease, the most time invested in rubbing it and buffing it and all that sort of stuff. So with this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a clean t-shirt, smear it onto the pipe, wrap the t-shirt around the pipe, and do that business up and down the pipe and see how that goes. So that's that one. And the last one, they recommend you just spray it on. All this is done on a cold exhaust, by the way, so you've got to make sure it's cold, out of direct sunlight as well. That applies to all three of these. With the Optiglanz, one of the most expensive one, you spray it on, leave it for 2 to 3 minutes, and then you just rinse it off, and it's supposed to look amazing. And I've seen some videos of it and it does look amazing. But does £25 worth of amazing, is that better than £1.50's worth of amazing? If this does the same job as the Optiglanz, I'll be amazed. It'd be incredible. So, without further ado, let's get down to the bike. Now, one thing I've got to mention actually, because my bike is a triple, it's got 3 exhausts, 3 cylinders. So the first exhaust on the left hand side, as you're looking to the front of the bike, that's going to be the cheapest one, the bleach. The middle one is going to be the most, how do I phrase this? The middle one is going to be the middle expensive one as well. Okay, and then the far right one is going to be the most expensive one. So you can see visually right next to each other how well these 3 products perform. I'm going to put a t-shirt, dedicate an old t-shirt to each one, so there's no, you know, cross-contamination with the cleaners. And I'm going to try and separate each downpipe so nothing sprays onto the next one and it affects it too much. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's get down and get cracking. Alright, so this is going to be the bleach, this is going to be the Autosol, and the last one is going to be the Optiglanz. So I'm going to put a plastic bag. It's just going to be a sort of, not an overall thing of how it works, but just like a patch test. So there it goes. Okay, so first one is the HARPIC bleach. Now, I've got myself a brush somewhere. I'm just going to start dabbing it on. Certainly goes on easy enough. So I'm just going to do this front area just so you can have a proper look how it works. Put a bit more on, get it all in there. Actually, I don't know if it's coming up on the camera, but it looks pretty good already. So basically the idea is when all this is done, whatever one performs the best, I'm going to rinse all the exhaust, the downpipes down and do them all with the best one. So far actually, bleach is coming out alright. Just get it right in there. Bit more. And it doesn't smell too bad. I was thinking because it's bleach, you know what bleach smells like in combination with, I thought in the combination with the kind of rust and the mud it stink, but I can't actually smell it at all. So that's good. Alright. So let's leave that. It's been on for about a minute now, minute and a half, so let's leave it for another minute and a half, so that's 3 minutes in total, and see how that looks. Okay, so it's been about 3 minutes, let's rinse this down. Oops. Wow, I'll tell you what, that's pretty bloody impressive actually. 3 minutes time, minimal amount of manual labour. It's got quite a nice shine on it compared to how it was. Let's get you a little bit closer. I mean, obviously it needs a lot more work, but that initial coating has done a pretty decent job actually. Alright, let's go on to the middle pipe and we're going to do the Autosol. The idea is, this is a really tight squeeze. You want to wrap the t-shirt around. You know what, that's not going to work. So what I'm going to do is, I think if I want to do these properly, I'll have to take them off the bike, but that's fine. This is just to see which one works best. I think to be fair to the Autosol, I'm going to put one layer on, buff it off, and then do another. Oops, sorry about that. So there's the cloth. Let's buff that off. Yeah, look at that straight away. The difference between that and the bleach. Again, it requires a lot more elbow grease. It's a lot more time consuming. But you know what? That's that's one of life lessons, isn't it? If you want to, if something's worth doing, it's worth putting the time in. I'm not applying much pressure here, I'm just make sure it's all rubbed in. And again, buff it off. Well, I think that says it all, doesn't it? Let's get you in for a closer look. Again, the left hand side one is the bleach, the middle one is the Autosol polish, and the last one is going to be the Optiglanz. That's going to be interesting to see. But so far, the good old fashioned Autosol and a bit of elbow grease works wonders. Look at the difference between that. Unbelievable. That took me what, 2 minutes to do? Not even that. Amazing. Alright, let's get the try the old Optiglanz. Alright, let's just put this bag in again so it doesn't affect the other pipes. Last one, Optiglanz. Let's give it a go. Give it a proper good shake. Oops. It's quite a strange reaction to it. It kind of foams up on contact. Did you see that? Change the nozzle from a direct jet to a spray, which I think is a little bit better. So they say leave it on for a few minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, then rinse it off. And if it's quite stubborn, they say just use a cloth or just go through with it, which I'd probably do anyway. Okay, that's fine. Let's leave that for 2 minutes, wash it down, see how it looks. Alright, so I just put some water into this thing. It's not obviously bleach in there, it's just plain old water, so it just makes it a little bit easier to spray it down. So there's not a lot of room to work under here. So once again, the far right one is the most expensive one, and it is the Optiglanz. The instructions are leave on for a couple of minutes and then rinse off, which is exactly what I've done. And I mean, it is cleaner, bearing in mind I haven't rubbed it at all, haven't touched it. It is a little bit cleaner, but it isn't £25 clean, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm going to do what they say. I mean, to be fair to the product, I haven't touched these in, you know, since 2012 properly, you know, cleaned them. So I'm going to go over it once more with the Optiglanz. And this time, like they say, I'm going to rub it in with a cloth and see how that looks. I've got an old cloth here. I'll rub it in. Well, straight away that looks a million times better. Just requires a bit of elbow grease. Now I think the Optiglanz stuff would be probably a lot better if there's only a kind of light discoloration on your pipes, you know, but oh, that's a lot better. That's a lot better. But these are particularly bad. That's pretty good actually. Let's give it another go. Leave it on for a couple of minutes. We'll come back to that. Guys, whilst I've been doing this, I was just seeing what works good on the aluminium bash plate, and I tried the bleach. Look at this. Look how easy that comes off. So I think the bleach, or this particular bleach, works better on these aluminium bash plates, or aluminium in general, than it does on the stainless steel downpipes. Oh, that's great. So I'll give that a quick. Actually, let's rub it in with this. Look at that. And that hasn't been cleaned since I've had the bike, other than, like I say, just the occasional wash down. But brilliant. I think I'll do the entire aluminium bash plate in the bleach. And so far, I've just got to rinse this down. I've got about another minute left, and then we'll compare all three. Alright, so we've left that last coat for about a minute, and let's give it another rub down just to see. Don't want to do the big reveal just yet. Alright, so just to clarify, the left hand side one, bleach. The middle one, Autosol. The right one, and the most expensive, Optiglanz. So let's see which one would work the best. Okay, well, it's kind of plain to see really. The left hand one, the bleach, looks just as clean as the right hand one, the Autosol, which is amazing because that cost me £25 to clean. That cost me £1.99. Unbelievable. I was not expecting that, but I kind of was expecting the Autosol to be the best one out of the bunch, because it is a metal polish and this dirt is ground in. So, but there you go. Unbelievable. A £1 bottle of bleach, or £2 bottle of bleach, that's better than a 25-pound bottle of Optiglanz. The proof is right there. Crazy. Let's give a close up so you can see it. There's the bleach. There's the Autosol, the middle one, and the right hand side one is the Optiglanz. You know, looking at it on second looks, actually, just as that sun is coming out, the Optiglanz one does look a little bit cleaner, but not, like I say, not £25 worth more cleaner. Crazy. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is, now I know which one works best. It's the one that requires the most amount of physical input, is the Autosol. So I think I'll take all these off and do a proper job. Alright guys, so that's it, we're done. Now these things, they never cease to amaze me, how something so cheap and another thing at the other end of the spectrum so expensive both work equally as well, exactly the same as each other. Now that's not obviously just not for these products, that is, you know, throughout all walks of life. Unreal, it never ceases to amaze me. Anyway, so here's the verdict, or at least my version of it. The bleach worked very well. It worked very quickly with the minimal amount of effort. It did, however, leave behind some stains that were deeply ground into the downpipes. The Autosol worked very well, required the most effort, but if that doesn't bother you and the only thing that matters is the end result, then that's not an issue at all. You know, that's one of life's lessons there, is it's worth putting the effort in if you want something good out at the end of it. You know, that carries on for all walks of life. The Optiglanz, very minimal effort, probably as much as the bleach, or probably slightly more than, because I had to rub it in a little bit, but it's the cost which brings it down for me. If you can get equal results from a £2 bottle of bleach, which is available anywhere, then you're going to go for the bleach. But, you know, the results speak for themselves. You know, it's crazy. So yeah, the Autosol, as I kind of expected it would do, kind of wins the test for me. You know, these guys know what they're doing. They're a German company. It's made in Germany, and you know, they're really bloody good. It really is good, and it's very simple and it's very effective, and you just got to put a bit of effort into it and you get a really bloody good result. So for me, the winner of the downpipe cleaner competition, good old-fashioned Autosol metal polish, bit of elbow grease, job's a good one. But if your downpipes are not as bad as mine and they just need a quick spruce up, I would go for the bleach. It's good stuff, and you can clean your toilet out with it. Crazy. The Optiglanz is, well, I don't know. I mean, it does clean your downpipes, but shit, it's £25, man. That's a couple of bottles of champagne sitting here. And look, I've used about half of it already. Fucking hell. Alright then, guys, you've seen the results. That's my verdict. You make up your own minds, and I'll see you again soon. Alright, take it easy, guys. See you later. Adios. Boy.